Hello everyone, I'm Gail, and today I will be talking about contemporary practices in human resource management, particularly in selecting and developing professionals. For the past years, it can be noted that there is teacher shortage in many parts of the world because many of them die because of war and diseases. According to EDLM, it can be noted that the problem is compounded by the fact that even though qualified teachers are paid less than other professionals, governments still say they cannot afford to provide higher wages. Now let's go over the functions of human resource management, which are recruitment and selection, development, induction, and retention of teachers and school leaders. Learning organizations are meant to be inclusive, so all staff should be selected with equal care. First, let's talk about recruitment and selection of teachers. Generally speaking, any qualified teacher can apply for a teaching position, and school division offices appoint them to their assigned schools. Depending on a society's cultural norms, whether they are collectivists or individualists, and the prevailing economic climate, teachers who are unhappy with their assigned schools may ask to move or even change profession. However, in highly collectivist societies or places with limited alternative employment, teachers are likely to stay at schools they hate, and with this, their negativity must surely affect their students. According to Guarino, it should also be noted that the criteria school heads use are focused on teachers' teaching success, good character, strong classroom management skills, the ability to work with diverse learners, and excellent interpersonal skills. However, shortlisting panels favor applicants who majored in the relevant subjects and those who had high test scores in the teacher's examination and the like. Gord opposed that there is teacher crisis. He said that the relative absence of teachers aged 30 to 39 is because they take time to raise their families. There is no special crisis at the turn of the century up until now. There is no retirement time bomb, no exodus of disillusioned teachers, no drop in teacher quality or qualification, and no worsening shortage, and no lack of new trainees. There is definitely a shortage in particular subjects as math and science, but schools are doing well at recruiting at least half of the graduates. However, there are three important issues on recruitment. First is on ethnic minorities. They still remain significantly underrepresented. Second, the most disadvantaged schools have the greatest difficulty recruiting and retaining staff. Third, the academic credentials of those choosing to teach are comparatively low. Ideally, teacher induction should help teachers to develop their identity and to find their stance within the institution. Hence, it should focus on subject-specific pedagogy, and it should involve a mentor of the same field. They also should be introduced to the skills of inquiry and be able to develop critical colleagueship, which is the ability to share classroom practices and surface concerns with other educators and then provide and receive constructive criticisms. As for any CPD program, they should allow time for feedback and follow-up. Also, teachers should be both observed by their peers and external experts as they try new ways of working. Coaching and support is crucial for embedding innovation. Gusky suggested a five-fold hierarchy of impact on CPD opportunities. Level 1 relates to participants' reactions. This refers to their satisfaction with the content, process, and context. Level 2 relates to what participants think they have learned in terms of cognition or the effect or behavior. Level 3 relates to the organizational support and change, whether the school values CPD in general and supports specific changes being advocated as a result of it. Level 4 relates to participants' actual use of new knowledge and skills. It can be measured after a reasonable time after the CPD ended. Level 5 relates to students' outcomes, though of course it is virtually impossible to prove that a specific instance of CPD caused a particular outcome. However, most often they concentrate on level 1 and sometimes encompasses on level 2, but rarely do they encompass levels 4 and 5. Naturally, not everyone who resigns is dissatisfied with teaching. Over half take up positions elsewhere in education, and many leave to raise their children. Nonetheless, for the long term, it is important to investigate what makes people so unhappy that they leave. According to a survey by Smithers and Robinson, teachers leave because of workload, pupil behavior, and government initiatives. Generally, teachers who stay longer may be motivated by intrinsic factors such as job dissatisfaction and a desire to share their knowledge than by extrinsic factors. On the other hand, others stay because of higher salaries that would encourage more graduates with better qualifications from more selective institutions and those with more than 5-year experience to stay on. To keep teachers from leaving, especially on their first 5 years, or retain those who leave because of the said factors, the government should reassess the work they ask teachers to do and reduce the frequency with which initiatives are introduced. School leaders should allow teachers more input and more decision-making powers, and communities would need to promote good behavior in their young people more actively.